Could you hear that?
Yeah.
It's like
What is that?
that's the sound of me opening up a cool Blood Brothers beer. You know, I haven't thanked our sponsor in a long time.
Damn, did they re-up?
No, I re-upped, to be honest. So this is a message to
very shitty sponsor.
yeah. So this is me sort of messaging the sponsor, broadcasting, saying, "Ooh, you know, Daddy's pretty thirsty over here." So no, but you know, I thought it was appropriate to maybe enjoy some libations during this episode because I've kind of started to follow the Josiah route of like living clean while we pod.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. I guess that explains why you've been so like
uptight.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Not funny.
I haven't noticed really any difference at all whatsoever.
Okay, well, yeah.
Mostly because I'm never paying attention when you talk. But
you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we actually just piece these together afterwards.
It's actually remarkable that they sync up at all. It's an incredible art experiment. But when we started doing the pod, I would like, you know, have a couple of pulls on the vape, couple of beers to put me in that special pod place. But eventually I realized, like, we're going to do this for 3 years and I'm in my 30s and I just can't live like that. But this episode, I was ready to kind of dig back into my old habits.
Damn. What, like, how is it because of the song or is it because of just like you?
I feel like it's the song.
You're realizing the clutch of your addiction is coming back. I
think that's it.
It's
grabbing
door in the
middle
of the night.
But how do you deal with it? Because like you live like, you know, full cop life through the pod, no crutches. You're experiencing every minute detail. Like, what's that like?
It's interesting because you can. I don't want to curse myself, but I feel like it's easier to maybe make quick jokes sometimes or make quick references because you're so alert and present. But then also, like, when something frustrating happens during your day, you're, like, so alert and present for it. And there's no escape. Right. So it's really a lot worse and a lot better at all times.
I mean, that sounds, you know, totally 50-50, I guess.
Yeah. So it's probably about the same, except that my fridge is just always stocked with flavored fizzy beverages.
Yeah, I heard you pop a fizz right before we started recording. What are you drinking, Josiah?
Yeah, I'm just drinking a LaCroix today. I'm just sticking with the real stereotype that people probably have created for me of drinking a LaCroix.
Is LaCroix made by the Faygo company? Is that their sparkling beverage? Like Faygo Incorporated or whatever?
Well, it says here, distributed by Sundance Beverage Company from Michigan.
Oh, that sounds like Faygo to me.
Is it? I don't know. I
mean, so LaCroix is
for this discussion.
Sorry, I should have prepped you that we were mostly going to be talking about beverages on this episode. But no, I think that is the company that makes Faygo. So LaCroix is just sort of like podcast hipster ICP juice.
Yeah.
Is that the sound of you Googling it to see if I'm correct, or are you just like doing something else entirely?
I'm just like, I was doing my taxes while I was talking to you.
Sick, you getting any money back?
I'm about to send you something because even when I was still a big time drinker, I love cracking open multiple beverages at once. And my wife and I would often call me the bevy boy when we'd go out, like for brunch or something.
Yeah.
But now we've started just calling fizzy drinks bevy boys in general.
The drinks are like, the boys themselves?
I'll have a bevy boy. But good. Yeah, right before I called you, I sent Sarah this picture saying, "Oh, I'm about to podcast." So it's my little setup here on the desk. I just sent it to you on GChat.
You have 3 drinks in front of you right now. 4. You have 4 drinks.
This is an accumulation of the full day.
You leave your empty cans in front of your desk?
Of course, this is clean right now. Actually, I'm a fucking slob.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But yeah, so I've got a. The first thing I drink very quickly too, which is why I also had to stop drinking alcohol because I just drink drinks so quickly at all times. So the first drink I drank while I was talking to you, which was over in about 3 seconds, was a mini Coca-Cola.
Yeah, those mini. You always think you're going to be so good, but you just want so many more.
Yeah, you could drink. They're like sliders in that way. Like, you know how slider people are like, oh, I hate sliders because somehow they've turned the equivalent of 1.5 burgers into what feels like none burgers. Like you're just so disappointed and hungry the whole time. So fuck sliders.
Yeah.
So I've had a mini Coke. I'm currently working on the lime LaCroix.
Yeah.
And I've got my bougie water bottle ready to go in case I need some actual water. And that other little drink I had earlier was this new San Pellegrino flavor. It's like half sweet peach San Pellegrino mixed with iced tea, and it's fizzy.
Yeah, they've been giving these things away in front of my work, but I haven't had one yet. How would you describe the flavor, Josiah?
This is a really good Blood Brothers Brewery promotion that we're doing.
Well, again, they maybe if they were to give me some more beers, we wouldn't be talking about other beverage companies.
Well, there's a peach one and there's a lemon one. The lemon one's definitely better. They both kind of taste a little bit aspartame, but I don't think that they have fake sweetener in them.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. They're still good, but they're not. They taste a little bit metallic.
I'm a big fan of the Holy Trinity when you're talking about going out and ordering a bunch of bevs at breakfast. So doing like coffee, water, and a Caesar. Like, what was your bevy boy move?
Oh man, well it started because we used to play these Halloween shows at Tubby Dog. Every year we'd do like cover a full pick a band and cover one.
Was this where your like Blink covers came from? Like, because you've played.
That was the first time we did Blink covers with our band Grown Ups. That was for that, and then we've done. We did Green Day as Blink. As Grown Ups, and then we did. I'm drawing a blank right now. We did Third Eye Blind.
Sick.
As Prenup, and then. What the fuck was the other one? Oh, Oasis. We did Oasis as well. So
nice.
I think after the Oasis one, I was like crazy hungover, and we went out for brunch. But we had stopped at like a bougie, general store beforehand. So I'd stocked up on some of. I also have always loved buying like the more stupidly expensive the juice, the better. Like if you just like put turmeric in some orange juice and charge me $25 for it, it'll make my day. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm easily targeted in that world. So I think I had one of those, but then we went for ramen, which is essentially a drink in my mind. And then I also had a coffee and a San Pellegrino and a Coke and a water. Oh, and a green tea. Like there was just like a comical amount of bevies on the table. Because I'm the bevy boy.
You're the bevy. I'm really into it. And it's one of those things, though, and this is what I wonder as well about your like new sober lifestyle is, they do say that it is helpful if you have, a hangover after performing your Oasis tribute to have, a couple of alcoholic beverages, which is sometimes known as the hair of the dog.
Okay.
Right?
Is that your...
And so one way that you might get...
By eating the dog's ass.
Yeah. Perfect.
I want to fuck a dog in the ass. He wants to fuck a dog in the ass. I want to fuck a dog. That's right, kids.
It did not feel right to me to be sober for the Fuck a Dog episode. I still don't know if the title of this episode is going to say Fuck a Dog or if that's going to put us in some sort of iTunes purgatory that we'll never recover from. And of course...
Well, I feel like at this point, we shouldn't even say it out loud maybe, but I don't think the podcast is labeled as explicit. So I hope that doesn't get us in trouble down the road.
Yeah. By the way, if at some point this podcast does get labeled as explicit, I'll know that someone who listens to this podcast is a cop, and I'll never forgive you. I will never trust anyone who listens to the podcast because I want to be able to say fuck and still also get, promoted properly inside of, the iTunes store.
Is that does it matter?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like,
whoa,
I know,
careful.
I know.
Don't say the fuck word.
I remain convinced that there is now like a hex on us that sort of keeps us from achieving the sort of high status inside of the podcast ranks that it seems to me, based on what I know about our numbers and other podcast numbers, that we deserve. But I think my bitterness is an unfortunately well-worn part of this podcast that we maybe need to move past.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't have just Zach on your episodes, then you don't get that sweet ranking of whatever their Blink-182 podcast was called.
Just Zach. I was like, what are we talking about? Oh, right. Yeah, the other pods. But Yeah, this is a song where, I'm not sure how this is going to go for us again on iTunes. And I really didn't have any, real memory of this song because this was on a T-Page that I didn't own. Like, did you own this version?
No, I never owned the CD whatsoever.
Right, you were too cool.
Yeah, it was too cool. Yeah, we've already talked about this. Like, it's episode 185 or whatever. But so I didn't own the CD. I think actually, really, I've never participated in something where you've bought multiple copies of the same CD to get different songs. Like, I don't know if that started when I kind of just started downloading shit on SoulSeek all the time, but I've never really been like sucked into that world. Have you?
No.
Is there anything where they're like, oh, you have to go to Target in order to get this song? Like, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
I own a lot of CDs and I own a decent number of records. I've obviously stopped buying any physical media in the last 10 years as I sort of stopped enjoying listening to and collecting music. But for a while, it was like definitely a thing I spent a lot of money on. But I never understood being a total completionist. Like, I've never been someone who's been driven to like, if I don't like a record, I'm not going to buy it just because I own everything else. I've never been a person that needs every pressing. Like, there's 4 different colored pressings, and I know I have tons of friends that this is like their fucking life.
Oh,
and
I love that. I'm trying to think. There's some funnier examples that I can't think of right now, but I know like you would always see like the Against Me Axl Rose collector on forums and stuff with like 150 colors of vinyl of the same record.
Yeah, and it always seemed, and Junior Battles is guilty of this in the sense that like it's fun when you like. I think colored vinyl looks sick, and so we with all of our.
I actually don't see color, so I'm just a bit different than you in that way,
good.
I guess.
Yeah. But like we've definitely put out different colored vinyl for like single releases. Only because it's like it seems neat, but you kind of know in the back of your head like someone's going to buy 2 copies of this fucking record now. And it kind of feels a little like if you're getting that excessive about it, like the 30,000 Reinventing Axl Rose pressings, like are you like what's the point outside of just literally getting people to buy the same thing multiple times?
Because seems a little predatory.
Well, this is literally what ruined the mainstream recording industry, right? Is they just kept taking advantage of consumers. They said, "Hey, you love this record, buy it on an LP." And then like there's a period of time where like LPs, tapes, and CDs were actually all being sold and effectively being marketed as products you needed for different purposes, right? Like the LPs for your home, maybe you finally got a 5 CD changer in the trunk of your car, and the tapes for your Walkman. And like that is one of the many reasons that the music industry went to shit. And so it's just sort of funny that like punks that ostensibly have sidestepped all of that nonsense have kind of created their own version of predatory consumer behavior. I don't know.
But I also kind of feel like colored vinyls are even worse than putting, at least in this case, it's like, I guess at least you get a different song on it. Maybe?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's also like, I kind of imagine it, again, it's also something that's probably just fun. There's one other one, and I wish I could remember what it was, but the last Matthew Good Band album, The Audio of Being, which is, in retrospect, I understand, maybe not a great title. Of a incredible record, though. Let's just be clear about that. And on the spine of the record, there's like different words. So there was 3 versions, but the only thing that was different was the singular word on the spine. It spelled out some phrase that was like "light is dark" or
that classic Matt Good prose that a country was built on.
Exactly. Fuck, I wish I could remember. If you remember what
is that game? Is it Half-Life?
That's a
You
game.
don't know anything about games, right?
No, you're the gamer. You're the gentleman gamer of the pod. Yeah.
I am the gentleman gamer. No, there's this game Half-Life, and this is a bad example, but there's different images. But sometimes I see this guy from this game I've never played Half-Life, but I see this guy, and I always think that he looks like Matthew Good.
Oh, yeah, the Half-Life guy does look like Matthew Good.
Yeah, I'm always like, this is really funny. Too bad there's like probably not much of a cross section of like deep reference gamers and people
And-
who know about like late 90s Canadian rock.
There is definitely a video game character for some new video game that is absolutely designed to look like Chris Hanna from Propaganda. He retweeted someone sending it to him, and there is absolutely no way. Like, the Half-Life guy looks a little like Matthew Good in the sense that he's like a stern man who probably writes poetry with like, you know, Wayfarers on. But
It's more like those weird, like very rectangular glasses. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Matt Good was like all about like making his glasses as rectangular as possible.
he dedicated his entire life to it, and he died for those glasses, and for that we
Sam,
salute him.
what in the fuck are we talking about?
Fuck a dog. We're talking about fucking dogs. Of course, a consistent theme of the podcast. Earlier, when we were sort of, just getting warmed up before we started recording, you referred to the podcast and the Sclusies and the socials and everything that we're building here, but, really that you're kind of, leading on as your empire of cum, I believe.
Right.
You might have just said cum
famously
empire.
famously quoting the Johnny Cash cover of Nine Inch Nails' "Hurt."
Right, yeah. It's that was one of the many like very bad things that Trent Reznor
my
did.
empire of cum.
So,
Yeah, you know what's really funny about this song and about the ongoing theme? Well, first of all, this song was recommended and suggested by our guest, who was not aware that last week we did the song that this appears with. So it was just immediately like, okay, obviously we need to do this song because it's in the air. Fucking Dogs is in the air right now.
fucking dogs in the air. And isn't there a connection between whatever fucking song we did last week and the song we did the week before that we didn't realize?
There was some sort of strenuous connection that we made while we were babbling on, and I'm not joking when I say that I can't remember what either of those songs are called or what they were.
And like I could look it up, but I'm much more entertained just knowing that I don't.
It's nice to just know that we just black out and say a bunch of shit, and then people quote it out of context on Twitter and attach our names to it.
I mean, that
really
part is
good.
the worst. Hold on, there's a Matthew Goodband fan that just entered the home. Wife of the pod, Ashley Carter. Ashley, do you remember on the audio of Being how there were 3 different versions and there was like words on the spine? Do you remember the phrase?
No, I don't remember.
Oh.
Probably have it though.
Do we have
Ask
all
her about
3?
the ask her about.
all
You do have all 3.
I don't know. We might because like
Ask her what
I
she
had a
thinks of the
copy and she had a
Half-Life
copy.
thing. I want to know about the Half-Life thing.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently Ashley did own all 3.
Does she think he looks like the Half-Life guy?
Oh yeah, and then I have a follow-up question when you come back. So she's looking. Any update? It's
This one appears to be this. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Audio of Being. Wasn't it something else?
okay. We don't know. And then there's also a question about Half-Life. If you could come back. So
I like that you guys like. I would expect you to be like, oh, we had all 3, but they're like in storage at my parents' house or something.
No,
But
all
no,
of-
they're out.
It says dark.
Yeah, dark. It is okay. So the one we have says dark, which means that again, I think dark is light or light is dark is entirely like possible as, the secret message that we are imparting on our Matthew Goodman podcast. And then a final question: do you think that this man looks like Matthew Good?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, so sorry, Josiah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Or what? What? Oh no. Okay, so oh god. Okay, so there's like a storm happening in Toronto right now, and I've been having some trouble. So we have a deck and we have like a patio umbrella, but like it's so rusted that it's not like in properly.
Yeah, it's gone.
Anyway, our umbrella's gone. Jesus Christ! Did it hit a fucking car?
I looked outside. I can't find it.
Holy fuck. I'm just got to make sure that our umbrella didn't hit a car. So, Josiah, can we pick this up in like just 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. So the report is the umbrella is gone.
Are we back on mic?
Yeah, we're back on mic.
The umbrella. You know, it's funny that you say the umbrella's gone because while you were just gone investigating, I just saw some huge breaking news from Toronto. Actually, it says here that that guy who's always that like old man who's always doing like viral content, like Norm. Something?
Yeah.
He's like always going viral. He's like always like dabbing and saying bad and stuff. It looks like about an hour ago, he sadly, rest in peace to Norm, but he was impaled by an umbrella in Toronto.
At Norm, eh? Fuck.
He was
What a-
riding. He was riding one of those hoverboard things, those like
yeah.
2-wheeled And then just this umbrella flew away and impaled him. So
Wow.
rest in peace to him.
R.I.P. to a real one, Norm. Fuck.
I also was trying to see if there was any storm-related Matthew Good things to just really tie it all together. And then I saw his new solo album from last year. It's called Something Like a Storm.
Oh my God. Do you think we conjured all of this?
Well, I was reading, then I clicked this link because this Spill magazine reviewed Matthew Good's Something Like a Storm, and it leads like this. If early millennium melodies and modern beats had a baby, that baby would be Matthew Good's Something Like a Storm.
What?
So, can't wait to check that one out.
So, I mean, I was hoping that the umbrella incident would kind of give us an opportunity to kind of bring things back to the center and talk about Fuck a Dog. But it didn't. We're just
Well, I
talking
would
more
say
about
that
the
instead we've really screwed the pooch.
Right. Okay. So, what, hold on, wait. Ashley, did you find the umbrella?
No, I said that sounds like a great podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah. I heard like Ashley in the background, and I was like, maybe in my mind the umbrella's just going to blow back into view. So, okay, so our guest this week wanted to do Fuck a Dog without realizing that thematically we're just on one right now.
Yeah, it's like too perfect to be true.
It's too good. So you had no like real experience with this song.
But then the other funny thing that I was going to say is just what day? Yeah, just yesterday, and I actually have the tweet in front of me so that I can credit the person. But one of our, I think this is someone whose references we steal all the time. But Rick Devine, he tweeted at us. Just know if it comes down to the wire and you're looking down the barrel of Aliens Exist with no Tom in sight, his appearance on the Fuck a Dog episode would mean just as much. So that's maybe a bad reason that we're doing this song now, because we're missing out on another big time Tom song.
Yeah, this is true. Like, this is Tom's thesis statement, right?
It really is. And yeah, like should we just get into it already before your house blows away or whatever?
Yeah, dude, it's like it's wild in these streets. Like, so many people I know have lost their power. Our umbrella maybe killed a Toronto city councillor.
You're like, damn, so many poor people in Toronto are without power, electricity tonight. We're without a deck umbrella. It's like
Yeah.
crazy out here.
Dude, it's just everyone's suffering.
You really don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Yeah, that song is about losing your deck umbrella for sure.
So, okay. First of all, the big narrative of these joke songs is that they recorded them to sort of pull a prank on the label. We talked about this on the grandpa fucking episode.
Another great episode.
Yeah, another classic. I don't know I think fucking a dog probably is worse than fucking a grandpa, because I mean it's illegal, first of all.
Yeah, is it? Sorry, it's illegal to fuck a dog, right? Like, bestiality is a crime, kind of across the board.
I think. I don't know.
Whereas, yeah, fucking a grandpa's not a crime. It's just like, and to be fair, grandpas get fucked every day. You know,
By the
consenting
government?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
No,
I thought
no,
you were
I
doing
was
some
thinking.
sort of.
Well, it's just one of those things where, like, the older you get, the more, you kind of realize that, like, certain things aren't that old, right? And so, like, you know people who are, like, 60 and are grandparents, and you're like, well, I still hope I'm fucking at 60.
So then there's other people who are like, you know what, this Norm Kelly guy actually seems totally on point, and like he's just one of us, and he's just dabbing on them haters because that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not desperate or embarrassing at all.
No, it's not a complete, sham to be a right-leaning city councilor who consistently, votes against, programs and social systems that, tend to support often the communities that the art that he uses so readily to sort of position himself as a brand on social comes from. And in doing so is a total hack and piece of shit. It's nothing like that.
But may he rest in peace.
Yeah, sorry. It's not fair because he's just died.
So the main narrative of these songs was that they did it as kind of a prank. But according to Ann Hoppus, Mark's sister, her book Tales from Beneath Your Mom, on Reddit, someone has, because I've never read this book, and actually I think I need to buy it because I'd like to read another book.
This
at some
should
point.
be your second book for sure.
But in this book, she said the following. MCA did keep the promise of awarding artistic control to the band. However, MCA did have to step in on 2 occasions. Once when Blink-182 wanted to feature a spoof of the Macarena on Dude Ranch called Hey Wipe Your Anus. and again when Blink suggested recording a song for Enema of the State called I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass. Blink-182 will now humbly concede that MCA was right on both counts. Those songs weren't such good ideas, even for Blink-182. So the idea for I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass was already in the ether. It was bestiality season when they were working on Enema of the State. So it's really funny to think that not only was this already like an idea that, like, I just can't believe, because it sounds so cobbled together and made up as it goes along, but like that means they were thinking about it for years.
Yeah, this idea has been like a sort of long gestating.
It's like their grand masterpiece.
Well, yeah, it's like Jodorowsky's Dune and these sort of great pieces of art that artists have, lose decades of their life to, where you're like, all I've ever wanted is to bring this story to the screen. Silence, the Martin Scorsese
the
film.
gatekeepers. This is what's happening now. There's so many gatekeepers that are stepping aside. So it's like this is like the new. The new TV, the new film, there's less gatekeepers. It's either if it's through crowdfunding or if you're working with a streaming service or something, there's less gatekeepers. And so this is an example of like perhaps they disrupted the medium by doing this bonus track thing where they could be like, okay, we're finally going to get our swan song out there.
I like the idea that like this is it. This is the swan song. This is the end of the band. This is our final. This is the punctuation point at the end of Blink-182, and we're good.
That would be pretty good.
I mean, fuck. I just the idea that this isn't like a tossed off in the studio thing, but you're like, no, there was like 2 years of thinking about this.
Yeah. And even Anne Hoppus, bless her heart, she was trying to stop it, I think, with this prose in this book and be like, yeah, see, it wasn't even a good enough idea for Blink-182, so let's just nip that in the bud right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
She was really trying to, wish cast the whole thing. Be like, so, this is obviously a terrible idea, no one should do it.
Let's all move on and not worry about it. And also, let's not have any songs about love is dangerous or, anything about fighting the gravity or any of those ideas either. We'll just put them all aside and continue to.
And that's when the band decided to never work with John Feldman.
Yeah, there's like a chapter in the book like, here's why you shouldn't get Matt Skiba involved.
Yeah, exactly. But Fuck a Dog somehow survives, which is weird because, I actually feel like this song sounds as if they are genuinely having fun recording it. Like, it sounds tossed off, and I buy the, jokey laughter vibes. But now I don't.
Well, it could... what I truly think is that it's probably and again, it's amazing that even it could be this because it's so stupid. But what I think it is that it's the equivalent of an inside joke that has just sort of been thrown around in the van. Probably not even in a van around this time. Probably, I think that...
From separate tour bus to separate tour bus?
In my mind, Blink-182 just tours around in a private jet that doesn't ever pick up off the ground. Like, they just drive around the country in a private jet.
Right.
On the highway.
Right. I mean, it sounds luxurious.
Yeah, so the probably they're just because, again, usually an inside joke has some form of, something, like wit or sharing an experience or something. Mm-hmm. But theirs was just, Tom wants to fuck a dog in the ass. And that withheld many, many years and eventually made its way to the tape.
Well, if you were in a band with Tom and he was constantly in songs that had nothing to do with fucking a dog, working in little sly references to how much he wanted to fuck a dog, and then you finally were like, dude, we're going to record a song. Here's going to get this out of your fucking system. That would be fun. If you were that, you'd be like, we need to exercise this particular lyrical urge in the most macro way possible.
And then I guess the question is really that when it comes to something that has been hinted at and sort of referenced for so long, and then he finally gets the chance to step up to the plate and do it, did he knock out his bestiality song out of the park, or does this live up to what it should be?
In my opinion, this is the only bestiality anthem. Full stop. This is not just the peak for Blink, but this is the peak for all animal fucking
For the entire
songs.
practice of bestiality.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing. You're never gonna go higher than this. What is your take?
Well, now you got me really curious if there's other songs about bestiality.
There's
Because
gotta be, but they're all gonna be by Blink. Like it's just this is the best Blink song about bestiality.
Well, I see on EliteDaily.com, Bjork said she's into bestiality.
Oh,
There's got to be some like real like edgelord, like dark web, post-industrial guys
Right.
making bestiality music. But yeah,
yeah,
I
like
mean, in terms
Mr.
of-
Hands mixtape or something.
I think if you are of a pro-bestiality agenda, you're probably going to get your message across more with this kind of fun sing-along that Tom has done here. So I think you don't want to be some scary, like, a guy who looks like he's an extra in one of the later Matrix movies doing this, because no one's going to take you seriously.
Yeah,
But
that's interesting.
This song sounds like my vague memories of what those Monty Python CDs sounded like.
Yeah, this is very Monty Python. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, Monty Python is like something that I remember liking when I was 10, but I don't know if it's people referencing it or if it's just that it's aged badly, but it's not. It doesn't seem funny at all in any way.
I haven't returned in a while.
It seems like local theater now.
But I'm sort of interested in this idea of like Tom as the kind of pleasant face of the bestiality movement, because a lot of like a lot of fringe movements kind of have this, where you have someone who's like the more acceptable spokesperson, like, Lindsay Shepherd becomes this like vehicle for this like, kind of alt-right free speech nonsense because she's like not a chud. Even Tom as like kind of the UFO spokesperson, he's kind of that person. And
Yeah.
so this idea that like in the same way that I think Christian pop punk bands were like, trying to like subterfuge Christianity into pop punk, that there's like hardcore bestiality people who are like, yes, like what Tom is doing is great. You get them to laugh, but then he opens their minds.
It's normalizing it a little bit.
Yeah, like I saw a documentary about flat earthers maybe last month at Hot Docs, and it was fascinating. And the doc was like, certainly, the doc wasn't in and of itself judgy, but just by like letting these people ramble on, they all sound out of their fucking minds. But in like interviews, the people in the doc who are flat earthers who are like, I know people are going to laugh, but then they're going to go home and they're going to Google. Like it's the start of a process of questioning that like I don't mind if you think I'm a little doofy to begin with. Like I've opened up a door in your mind. And I feel like that's what Tom's doing. Like he's opening up a door into your mind to just like, what would happen if I fucked the dog?
And I think you're absolutely right. I also think that Mark is being very savvy here, because Mark does that thing on Dude Ranch. There's that sketch where I believe the dog laps up his pee. Is that right?
Yeah. Commuter's a
that
good
sketch.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not exactly sexual. It's more just that these guys, like so many suburban middle-class entitled white males, do not treat animals with the respect that they deserve, essentially.
Yeah.
But Mark even there was like a Reddit AMA a while ago, quite a few years ago, that someone had collected a bunch of his answers, and the question was, to this day, do you still want to fuck a dog in the ass? And Mark was very, very careful to say, mine was not the lead voice in this particular moment of musical genius. I was the pirate. I will leave it at that. So Mark is already like, look, it's kind of like the aliens thing too. Like, this is Tom's thing. I don't want anything to do with it. I'll let them drink my piss. I'm into dog piss play. But
Way to just like leave your friend out to dry, man. That's harsh. I can see why the band broke up, to be honest. Like that's your friend, that's your best friend, and you're like, oh no, he's the one that wants to fuck a dog.
you're not going to say that you've at least been curious about it?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, come on.
yeah. Like, look, we've all wondered. Everyone's wondered. Is it the same? I don't know.
So in terms of the other, because obviously there's like dog and fuck is two words that are commonly in the Blink-182 word cloud. So a lot of different results came up. But there was a Rolling Stone interview kind of leading up to when they were going to record what would have been California if Tom hadn't quit. And Rolling Stone said, "I enjoyed your Dogs Eating Dogs EP. It was interesting. Boxing Day had acoustic guitars and electronic drums." So I just want to go ahead and say to that interview, you're not asking a question, and it's actually not very helpful in any way, what you've done there. But despite that, Tom DeLonge didn't walk out. But he did say that Boxing Day was originally a joke song.
Really?
So, and he said, "The war in our band all the time is, do we sing about fucking dogs or do we sing about growing up in a dark world?"
Well, there's somebody on, like, when I was listening to this song on YouTube before we recorded, the number one comment on this fan upload that has 1.2 million views is from Daddy Satan saying, "I love Blink-182 because they have songs about suicide and war and divorce, and they also have songs about fucking dogs. It's amazing." Which I actually think is, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, I actually totally agree with that sentiment. And clearly 1.1 thousand people also agree with that because that's how many people upvoted that comment.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason why we can do a podcast about this band.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, because if we were always talking about dog fucking, like, I'm already kind of tired of it, like hearing it come out of my mouth. I'm like, okay, I get it.
That's the other thing is, like, I truly don't find this funny in any way.
Well,
at
okay,
all.
so I want to, because I feel like I'm going to forget because I so rarely have points. Well, I mean, I love to ramble, but I don't always have points. But there's two things. One is, I don't think the song is funny except for the line right off the top where it's like, "I tried to fuck your mom in the ass, tried to fuck your dad in the ass, could only find the dog," and then there's the pause and it's ass.
Yeah,
I think
okay,
I think that's funny.
Something close to a funny tag. I'll admit that.
Right. But the problem in general is that, like, this song, and again, I actually, the whole vibe of it I like, and it sounds like I remember, like, doing joke shit, like, especially like when I like lived in college and like lived with a bunch of dudes and we all like had just got GarageBand and it was like so easy to demo stuff. And I have so many like full on bad, very like Blink inspired kind of joke song demos that like we were giggling constantly and sounded like this. So it actually like reminds me very much of like that feeling of feeling like you're doing something kind of like dirty and clever in some way. But it also has this like, this song is very Epic Bacon. Like, this is very much like a Deadpool song.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, that's kind of, we touch on that with our guests later a little bit. It's very of a certain time.
Yeah.
And that's probably also like the pirate thing. Talking like a pirate was so funny for a while.
Wow,
and
yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, the pirate thing is arguably the worst part of the song.
It is very bad. Imagine, though, like, that's a bad part of this song. Imagine if, at the height of, like, that being funny, you literally started a pirate-themed metal band, of which there are a dozen. Like that, you're sentencing yours, and that's the thing. It's like we could not do a podcast about a pirate-themed metal band, but we are blessed to be talking every week about this band that truly does contain multitudes. And a song like this makes me appreciative of that as I grow tired, honestly, of saying the phrase "fuck a dog."
I am also kind of like because I have the lyrics open, and what you were just saying about I could only find the dog. That already is kind of problematic to me because I don't think he actually wants to fuck a dog if he was originally looking for your mom and then your dad and then the dog. It sounds like he doesn't actually really want the dog that badly.
I think this is a little bit of like you're sort of retroactively trying to find a way that makes your actions more defensible. Like
right, okay.
You know when you do something that's like lazy or just like it's wrong. You're like, honestly, I emailed you. I called you and you weren't around, and so I fucked the dog. Like there's, I think, a sort of human need to try to explain behaviors that we know are aberrant in some capacity.
He's kind of like bargaining with himself.
Yeah, that's what this is, and God probably.
Right. So I guess that does add some nice gravitas to it.
Yeah, this is a man like truly reckoning.
A portrait of a dog fucker.
Yeah, Like, because imagine, Tom, he's sort of raised, affluent, in a sort of nice American city. He gets a good education. Kind of knows in his heart of hearts that these desires are unacceptable in the world that he comes from. And so you seek to both shroud those most sort of intimate needs with humor in an attempt to both sort of connect with people and sort of broach, your most sort of your deepest feelings. And then you also sort of try to explain them away. So you say like, "Oh, look, I tried to fuck both a man and a woman, like the normal style, and only then did I eventually land."
My hands were tied.
That's it. I was out of options, and it had to go somewhere, and it went in the dog.
So maybe that's also why this is presented as a joke song. And Mark, because he doesn't actually really want to engage with this taboo conversation, just starts talking about pirates because he just doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't have this sort of willingness to roll up his sleeves and get dirty in the muck of this taboo, difficult conversation.
Right. Yeah. Mark doesn't want to engage. Right.
So he's just being completely surreal. Going like Tom's statements are rooted in logic, and you can picture that going on, but then all of a sudden talking about a pirate is
Well, yeah, you're trying to diffuse it. Like your friend is, starting to go off on some tangent, and you're like, "Oh no, they're going to ruin this party." Like they are talking too much about chemtrails, and you're like, "Okay, let's make a joke about chemtrails and flat earthers and whatever." And I'm going to do it in a pirate voice, and then no one's going to think that my friend fully believes in chemtrails.
Right. Yeah, I think we've kind of figured it out. And once again, Tom is coming across as the more flawed yet more in touch with his deepest self kind of character.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, the song, and this is now an unnecessarily sort of deep and personal reference, but this week I finally watched. There's this movie that I wanted to watch for a minute called, and this is, I already regret where this is going. It's called Deathgasm. And so it was, came out a couple years ago. I think it's 2015. Sort of low budget horror movie. And plot wise, it's exactly I'm this is a movie that is, and this was big, it did well in the festival circuit and whatnot. I'm sure some people here have seen it or familiar with it. And it's about these, metalheads, living in an oppressive kind of suburban environment that doesn't understand their love of shredding. And they uncover this ancient tune that when played, it's this sick Sabbath metal dirge, and when they play it, it summons demons, and then they have to slay demons, and it's in corpse paint demons. It's very
it's very something that I've intentionally avoided for many years,
and it's super Evil Dead vibes, Bad Taste, Dead Alive, slapstick over the top gore, and you're this rules. But there's a 10-minute fight scene with sex toys that is someone's mom's sex toys, and you're one dildo joke can be funny, but it's just it's too much. And then the movie kind of continues to kind of fall off the rails and has many other much worse problems than the dildo fight scene. But as this 10-minute dildo fight scene was wrapping up, I kept thinking I want to think this is funny because I'm exactly dumb enough to think that murdering demons with dildos is a super funny concept for a scene. But you just overdo it, right. And then all of a sudden it's again, you just end up in this Deadpool world where there's stuff about Deadpool that I think is funny, but it's just it's too fucking much, Yeah, it just bums me out because I'm on side, I'm on side, and then it's just you push me too far.
I haven't been able to watch more than about 1 minute of Deadpool, but I thought you were going to say that you watched this movie called Zoo from 2007.
Oh my god, I love Zoo.
Have you watched it? Because I've never watched it because people always recommend it to me and say, "Oh, it's such a great documentary." But to be honest with you, I don't really love thinking about bestiality. It's not something that I would really particularly enjoy thinking and talking about at all times.
I'm so
people
glad.
are always "No, trust me, it's a good movie," and I'm I mean, it's probably a well-made movie, but there's lots of other movies that I could watch instead of that one.
Well, I saw Zoo at Hot Docs, whatever, over 10 years ago with, before
Every time you say hot docs, I imagine hot dogs.
Yeah.
Which, is Tom's favorite.
Yeah, Tom's. Yeah, it's fine. Mitt Romney's favorite meat, which is great. So yeah, Zoo is, and I made a joke earlier about Mr. Hands. Zoo is a documentary about Mr. Hands, which was like a real like web, 1.0 viral video of a man supposedly being fucked to death by a horse. And the actual video is not the murderous fuck. It's an earlier sesh. But this man who's in the video was ultimately murdered by his insatiable lust for horses. And Zoo is an incredible and like very touching documentary about his story, and there was like a bunch of people sort of on that farm at that time, and it's great. Do you want to talk more about it? Did you have other Zoo?
Well, no, but I was going to
mots?
say, just from looking it up, I realized that because Tom's talking about wanting to fuck a dog and not actually doing it, it's not about bestiality, it's about zoophilia.
Right.
So
what's the difference there? Sorry, it's like
so zoophilia is a sexual fixation on non-human animals, whereas bestiality is the actual sexual activity. So until he acts on it, he's not engaging in bestiality. He's engaging in zoophilia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, in Zoo, the guy literally gets murder fucked by a horse.
Right. So I think, and I feel like also that sentence is probably some Deadpool dialogue.
I know.
Somewhere.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, this is the problem, man. We're spending 90 minutes talking about a song called Fuck a Dog. Like, eventually some Deadpool dialogue is just going to emerge.
I wouldn't be surprised if all of this was Deadpool dialogue.
This is Deadpool 3.
Now, I agree with you, and I agree that I'm sick of it, and I agree that it's not funny, and I agree that it's all very, like, I hate, like, shock humor, too. I'm very traditional in the sense that I still like a joke to have a
Punchline?
like a punchline, a beginning and an end, not just a string of not whatever the what's that Penn and Teller thing called, the Aristocrats or whatever, or the that's what I don't know, that kind of shit is all embarrassing to me. But then I realized that this Blink-182 song does serve an excellent function, which I think is generally their function as a quote-unquote punk band, which is that it's like ammo for little shithead teens to be little shitheads.
Yes.
And so there are two videos online of kids performing it for their school and then getting suspended.
Right, so this is I get it. This is only half the joke.
Exactly.
This is like, it's like a treasure map.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's 1/3 of the joke, because the second third of the joke is that they presented it to their label as if it was a new single.
Right, okay, yeah.
And that already gives it a passing grade, 2/3. I'm so good at math. And then the third is that children are playing this for their schools and getting in trouble.
Josiah, that's some real Harvard Online arithmetic you just did.
Have we talked about on the pod how one time you said, like, you did math wrong and no one will shut up about it?
People
There's
will not forgive me for, like, I was just saying numbers. I wasn't doing math.
Yeah, like, who gives a shit?
But it's like, I feel like I get a tweet every day. I get one tweet a day that says, what happened to this exists? And the second tweet I get every day is, does Sam know that 16 minus 4 is not 11? I literally know the fucking numbers because it gets sent to me constantly.
You don't need to know them because your computer can do. That's one of the things that these new Macs can do, is they can subtract and add.
It's truly Steve Jobs' legacy is that you and I both have computers that can subtract and add.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get division soon. But so this guy's name. This is technically a cover, but I'm jumping ahead a little bit because it's just too good. So there's There's one Reddit thread where a guy played it at a high school talent show, and he ended up getting suspended for a really long time, and it's really funny. But the actual video, you don't really get to see it. But this one, uploaded by a user named Jesus, or perhaps Jesus, I'm not sure. But he's playing it in class on a piano, and you can hear his teacher stop. So and in the description he says he was kicked out of class, of course, and my grade went down by like 18%. And also he says, "'Twas karaoke day in beginning choir. I signed up and sang one of my favorite songs." So let's hear what Jesus, or Jesus, however he says it, did.
Right now.
So that was a very quick shutdown.
Oh
by that.
my God. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so kicked out of class, of course, and my grade went down by 18%. 'Twas karaoke day in beginning choir. I mean, the kid can play piano. Oh my God.
And also the riff that Tom does on this song is perfectly suited to this kind. It's like such a stupid riff.
Yeah, it's like up there with "I Was Alone," which is like sort of the only good one of these kinds of songs, like truly good one.
Yeah, and because it doesn't really give away the whole joke.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Sorry, this dude also added. Okay, in the comments of this video, he's provided a few updates. Update. They suspended me a second time and said they would refer me to the school police for this video.
Oh my God. So he's been double suspended.
And then they also banned me from walking at graduation and grad night and prom. And he's getting tons of support. Like, that's stupid. They don't know true talent. And then he follows up, but I sneaked into prom and got kicked out of it 2.5 hours later. That's basically all of prom. How long is prom?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it took them that long. I literally walked right past the new and old principals. I'm 6'4" and I wore a white tux, and then they called me an idiot.
Yeah, so I mean I guess the functionality of the song really is the missing key that makes it good.
Yeah, we've like really sort of tapped into. I totally get it now. Yeah, we only had half of the joke.
Yeah, well, 2/3. Try to keep up with the math.
Sorry. I'm not done. I'm not done my course yet.
Yeah, the other one, I'm trying to see. It doesn't really say what happened to the other guy, and it's not worth listening to. But then someone else was saying on the Reddit thread that they will always play this song over Bluetooth speakers at Best Buy. So I mean, it's just like the lamest possible form of rebellion that you can do, but I still kind of like it.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
It's the equivalent of just like poking someone a little bit.
Because it's nothing. Like there's nothing really, there's nothing actually offensive about it. Like it's not, in the end, there's nothing. Even the like weird sort of like Mexican accent, that just seems like someone forgot how to do a pirate accent. Like it's very innocent in the sense that it's solely about Tom's fixation on the dog. Like it isn't like there's like passive homophobia in it or like some stuff that sort of clouds a few of these jokes.
Right.
So to just bang this in a Best Buy, to me it's just it's cool, man. Fuck the system. Damn the man. Save the empire.
Yeah, that's stuff. Is that from Deadpool as well? Or?
Mm-hmm. Is this all?
Do you know this? You're like a Mr. like 70s punk guy, right? You know all that shit. Like you've written a book on it and everything. Mm-hmm. You're like Mr. Punkerman.
I'm Mr. Punkman. Yeah.
Do you know this band of whom's Wikipedia I just sent you? I don't know how to say it.
I am not familiar with Ebba Grön from Grön from Stockholm. No.
Well, they're significantly cooler than Blink, and I found this video that is a very cool video, and they have they have a 1979 performance of a song called "Now I Want to Fuck Your Dog."
Is it just like their riff on like "Now I Want to Be Your Dog," or is it a totally different song?
I didn't really listen enough to figure that out, but they definitely sing about fucking a dog in it. So let's give it a quick listen,
Hell yeah.
because it just shows that there's a punk precursor to what I'm sure Blink was not collecting Killed by Death compilations, but maybe they were.
I mean, like, I think they went as far back as Fugazi, and that was it.
Yeah, and probably not even that.
No.
Anyways, here's Ebba Grön with "Now I Want to Fuck Your Dog."
Okej, kvällens sista låt. Tillägnat damerna på Östermalm. De kvinnorna och männen med pistagegröna pudlar. Den här låten handlar om vad vi i Ebba tycker om man ska göra med dem. Det är en allsångslåt. Texten går jävligt lätt. Now I wanna fuck your dog. 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 Now I wanna fuck your dog.
Yeah, that's good.
You ever see like I don't know, when like Fred Armisen or someone will try to make like a 70s punk band for like a sketch comedy show or something, and I don't know, my reaction is always like, this is a bit too broad. I don't think it was really that bad. And then you see something like this and you're like, oh wait, punk has always been truly terrible.
Yeah.
It's just like so bad. But I think the main thing I like about punk, honestly, is just like seeing warbly saturated videos. Like, I think I just like how it looks.
Right. That's what actually drew it. It wasn't all the songs, like the bad songs about dog fucking.
Actually, one time I tweeted that the main reason I got into punk was because I was too cheap to buy indie rock records. Because I used to just buy records off of Ebullition distro all the time. And it was like, I can get LPs for $8. I'll convince myself to like this kind of music.
And did that like, were people mad? Did people like try to revoke your credentials?
Damien saw it and laughed really hard at me,
Oh,
making fun of me.
nice.
It's like one of the only times he's ever responded to a tweet, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's it. That's the side of you that he wants to engage with. You know, that song is extremely Fred Armisen. Like that's like a sort of like 150 sketch where like the Foo Fighters are playing. Dave Grohl is absolutely in that band.
Yeah, totally. Like that one sketch where they're like an 80s hardcore band playing at a wedding.
Which is legitimately a great sketch.
It's really good. But yeah, I don't know. So that was Ebba Grön with "Now I Want to Fuck Your Dog."
And if anyone speaks Swedish and tell us what they're saying in the intro to the song, that would be great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we should just keep moving along through my notes. There's a lot of notes here.
Really?
There's a lot of, yeah, there's
okay.
like, of course, this is one that's been covered so much.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of bullshit that I quickly want to get through because I think I accidentally stumbled across somebody's SoundCloud sex playlist.
Like,
just take a look because this is called, the playlist is, I don't know if we need to out her for her name, but she looks like her SoundCloud user picture is her with maybe her husband. They're wearing white together.
yeah.
But this playlist is called "Fuck Me Like a Dog," and it's just like 27 songs of like extreme sexualness.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, so you open up with Kevin Gates, "Would You Mind?" And then you move into K. Michelle, VSOP.
Got some Weekend Drunken Love remix.
Yeah.
I mean, Kisses Down Low, Kelly Rowland.
Yeah. R. Kelly, Cookie. Yeah.
I love that it's 26 songs of just like fuck freak jams, and then Fetty Wap's Trap.
Yeah.
That's for like cleanup time.
Yeah. Just you need that little boost of energy to just sort of like get everything mopped up before you sort of just hit the hay.
But I mean, like, is there any other explanation? This must be because this person's other playlists are like old school, gospel, thuggin. I mean, this is clearly her.
This is Yeah. Do you have one of these? Like, do you have a SoundCloud?
I just put on
playlist?
the pod, just the pod on YouTube.
Right, just hundreds of hours of your own insight.
Yeah, I just use the stem files where it's just me talking. just silence in a room and then like and then silence for a little while. I don't want to like get too weird here, but I just want to say that this seems like quite a few songs. Like, I don't know. This is like a good 80 minutes of music, I think.
This is too much music for sure. Yeah. I feel this man is tired.
So that's the "Fuck Me Like a Dog" playlist.
Thanks, man.
I don't want to read this person's name, but I'll DM it to you if you want it.
Right. I like that our sort of extreme dedication to citing sources, especially in the wake of the Indy 88 plagiarism scandal, has really left you sort of troubled about not citing the "Fuck Me Like a Dog" playlist. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
It's also because I can't pronounce the name. So moving along, let's see. There's a lot of bullshit. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit of people just posting things to do with fucking dogs. I don't know.
Did you see that on Urban Dictionary, there's an entry with several upvotes, and we know that Urban Dictionary has some sort of quality control mechanism that...
it seems ruthless.
Yes.
Really.
So they have allowed for an entry for DeLonge's syndrome, which is a condition in which the affected persons compulsively swears, talks of bestiality, incest, their fake homosexuality, fecal waste, urination, boobies, and masturbation due to obsession with Blink-182 and their guitarist Tom DeLonge's live performances, interviews, and random recordings. And then the example is very Deadpool. Doctor, sir, our diagnosis is this is not written well. Doctor, sir, our diagnosis is you have DeLonge's syndrome. Guy, shit fuck. That gets me horny. Where's my dog?
Oh my god. That's so bad.
So fucking epic.
I'm really not looking forward to some of the other joke songs that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
It was really upsetting. Like,
it's about to be jokes.
All right. Well, moving along to something a little bit more important. This is somebody. This is called "I Want to Fuck a Dog" on SoundCloud, but somebody just like accidentally uploaded 7 seconds of themselves talking. I don't know. It's really weird. So this is the user G Morton and Rain, and this is filed under comedy, and this is what it sounds like. "I want to fuck a dog."
All right, here's what happened. All we had, I'm recording.
So that was it. That was a thing that I found.
Thanks,
Here's
man.
what happened. Oops, I'm recording. So that's good. And then finally for the bullshit section, I'm skipping over quite a few things. I've been a little bit too comprehensive today with this. Somebody has taken the trailer for the animated feature Marmaduke and soundtracked it so that a bunch of dogs are singing it. And then it really becomes quite playful because if you're imagining it from a dog's perspective, then really...
I love that.
Although, this is the other thing is, like, I guess dogs are not fucking each other in the ass. So they're still... That would suggest that the dog doesn't want to procreate, I guess.
Well, yeah, because, like, the only... And this is, like... I don't know if this is one of those, like, actual facts or this is, like, a real internet...
An OMG fact?
Yeah, this might be a bit of an Uber fact, but the only animals besides humans that have sex for pleasure are dolphins and bonobos. Maybe there's like some sort of animal doctor that could let us know. What is it? What is it when you study animals? I mean, I understand what a veterinarian is, but like, what's like, are you because marine biologist is like if you study the sea and its creatures, but a biologist tends to be someone that studies people. So what's someone who knows about whether or not dogs fuck each other in the ass? Okay, I guess a
I got nothing.
a zoophiliast. Anyway, let's.
So this Marmaduke trailer was uploaded by someone fitting the theme, uploaded by someone named True Epicness. I'm just gonna play you the start of it, and then you'll just imagine there's a bunch of animatronic or not, I don't know, like CGI dogs participating in this.
Degree means you're exceptional. Ferdinand is fluent in 6 languages, including Gopher.
Fuck you.
Marmaduke.
So they made one of the dogs say "fuck you," and then really loudly the song came in, and all the dogs were dancing. That was uploaded by True Epicness in 2015, and you're not going to believe how many views this has gotten, but it's quite a hilarious number that I'm not even going to read out loud because it's so foul and perverted.
Yeah. It is.
Let's just say, leave it to your imagination, but it's quite fucking disgusting, frankly.
It's one of the 2 funny numbers. So
And whether it's funny or not is up to how much of a sick freak you are.
Right.
But let's there's too many covers and there's too many that are worth playing. So let's just fucking get into this.
All right, man.
now.
Let's do it.
Let's just dive in and hopefully something will happen. Maybe another storm will strike and we'll just die before we have to do all this.
Well, I'm just I think also the more covers we can play, the more likely it is that I'm not going to be just like spouting C-list Ryan Reynolds dialogue on my end of the pod.
Like, have you seen I feel like you've probably seen Waiting 2. If that exists.
Yeah.
You're such a fan.
I own multiple copies of Waiting too because, I'm worried that when it gets scratched from my many. I actually have seen Waiting.
Yeah, I've seen it too, and I think I just saw it on Netflix because I do really feel like there's not enough comedies in the world. Like, I know people say like comedy's better under the Orange Cheeto drum fee now. But I feel like there's not enough comedy that I've just started watching like terrible comedies in hopes that there'll be like 1 or 2 laughs. But I don't know.
You know what's a comedy I enjoyed quite topically? Ibiza. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah, I did.
I really liked it.
I don't know why. Like, people were mad that it didn't have a plot.
No,
But
it's
the
fucking
problem is,
awesome.
like, critics of comedies are always like, I don't think this movie said enough about society.
No.
It's like imagine if Airplane came out today, they'd be like, what does this really say about, like, whatever? Like, fuck off.
I think you would have
It's
to
funny.
be, so sort of like fundamentally humorless and like not interested in experiencing just simple pleasure to dislike that movie. I think it's very funny and it's like has all the conflict of an Entourage episode. It's just like a perfect nothing.
I mean, I've never watched Entourage either because you're really revealing all of your cards right now.
Dude.
But
Yeah. Love Deadpool, love Entourage. I think Five Finger Death Punch is a sick band.
actually, that reminds me of like when I think of Waiting, I think of this guy that I used to work with, he drove me crazy. Not at any of the. It's not a media person. Like when I worked in a mailroom, he was the most annoying guy in the world, and he was obsessed with Five Finger Death Punch. I can imagine that this Ryan Reynolds renaissance happening right now is probably just like a gift from the heavens for him.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy for that guy.
Okay, so this is a pretty fun one. It's Me Again on SoundCloud. It sounds like it's just like two girls having a laugh, but they've mashed it up with some Big Sean lyrics towards the end. So
okay.
Let's hear how that. I don't know. This seems to be like the function of the song is to like make people have a laugh. So I don't know if we can. I'm sure we'll be mad about it in 2 hours when we're done all the covers. But right now, this one's okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, it's going. Okay. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Wanna fuck your mom in the ass. But I could only find the dog in an ass. I tried to fuck your mom in the ass. Tried to fuck your dad in the ass. But I could only find the dog and his ass. Dog, doggy, doggy, dog, dog. Dog, dog, doggy, doggy, dog, dog. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Ass That makes the motherfucker every time. Go stupid, go stupid, go stupid. Shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass. Wobbly, wobbly, wop, bobble, bobble, stack in the paper, small molecule, look like a bottle. Got these girlies half naked, looks like a grotto. Got her waist anorexic, but then your ass is colossal. Whoa, what's wrong with that?
I mean, that's like probably like camp or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. That's like the most camp ass recording I've heard yet on this pod. I loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Just kids
I
having
think
fun, man.
Yeah, I think they might say the N-word towards the end, but
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, like I stopped it before we got to there. So
Okay.
It's neither here nor there, but I think it might happen. So if you're a camp counselor, try to give your teenage girls some woke training when they're around the campfire.
Yeah, or just like decency training, like you know.
But along the theme of that one, there for some reason again, because I guess people who enjoy this are mostly just idiots. I don't know, but there are so many people who've just done an exact straightforward acoustic cover of this acoustic joke song, which I genuinely don't understand what would bring you to do that.
And I genuinely don't understand what would lead you to play me any version of that. So how many are you going to play for me right now?
No, that's what I promise you, I'm not going to play any of those ones.
Oh.
But I've skimmed through them all, and I found one other acoustic one that at least is more of the Kimya Dawson variety.
Oh. Remember when this was a Kimya Dawson podcast?
Yeah, that was so long ago.
I miss it.
I miss Kimya season. We didn't even call it like it was.
No, yeah, we didn't
It was Paul
understand.
Barabeau season.
Yeah. Now it's just
This is
epic season.
Now it's epic bacon season. Fuck, that is what. Yeah, that is what it is. It's epic bacon season right now.
I like already regret every single thing that I've said. Like not because it was like crass and I'm gonna be mad when I see one of the multiple no context quote Blink-155 accounts tweet it and think I'll never get another job in my life. But mostly just
yeah, that should be a new account. Is like Sam recommends, and it's just like all the movies and TV shows that you recommend. Entourage, Deadpool,
right,
the Zoophilia one.
Yeah,
It's like-
I got very specific
this
interests.
This is Young B, Young B. This
Okay.
is recorded. This was uploaded 7 months ago. This is on SoundCloud.
Okay. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Wants to fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog. That's right, kids. I tried to fuck your mom in the ass. Tried to fuck your dad in the ass. Could only find a dog. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog.
The little like mic problems and everything. That's like very. It's very. I don't know. If this was on the blog Tiny Mixtapes, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Right, yeah, like devoid of any context. Like if you hadn't ever heard the Blink song, you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I remember Tiny Mixtapes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was Young B. So I think that's probably, all of the acoustic that I'm going to do right now. But there's two directions we could go. We're going to get to both of them, but would you like to start with the pop punk section or the remix beats section?
Ooh, I want to start with the pop punk because that just feels the most logical to me, and then sort of take myself to a new place with the remixes.
So guys, that's how it works here. A normal podcast would edit that out so that it would just seem like a smooth transition, but we're so like down to earth and open about our process that you don't need that.
Yeah.
You're here with us.
It's radical transparency. We want to make sure that everyone is involved in every sort of stage of production from
As long as we don't have to credit your names about it. Any
No,
of it.
yeah, that's why all of the. I'm going to leave in the like 10 minutes that I went to go look for my patio umbrella too.
Please do.
And other people could do. You just like look at Twitter.
Yeah, then it's like you're experiencing our lives, our wonderful, wonderful lives.
Yeah.
So I think we've posted this person before. Their username is ShadyVokesYT, and their picture is like some sort of furry drawing. I think this is a furry who does like very glossy vocal covers. But this is a collaboration with Ed Templar. So it's I Want to Fuck a Dog, Blink-182 cover, 45,000 views.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, somebody's even saying here, oh yeah, he's a furry. So that I guess that adds some logic to it if you're a furry and you want to fuck a dog, you know? Maybe Tom invented furries.
Oh, yeah. When did furries start?
Probably right after this song came out.
Right after the release of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
The yellow one. Yeah. I don't know. But, okay, so this is, I've just skipped ahead a little bit to where it comes. There's a lot of like very glossy, quiet singing at the start, and then it does this.
Wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Take that roller, please bend over. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. You tuck your boy, taste my chew toy. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass.
I feel like that was the moment because I've been like vaguely amused by like bantering about this, even though again, like to be clear, I mostly blame myself for sort of dragging this conversation down to a depth that I hoped we wouldn't go. And that was the moment where I was like, I'm so sick of this song. Like I just don't ever want to hear.
I just felt like a profound sadness come over me.
Yeah, like it just like I was like, oh God, we're gonna have to listen to so many more people say "fuck in ass" like for the next 20 minutes, and that's all. That's all I have to say. It's just like,
Yeah, I'm with you, man. For once, I'm with you. Like I'm feeling just real blue about this. Real down and very, very sober. Also,
right? Yeah. Whereas I've at least enjoyed like a good sort of 500 milliliters of fine Blood Brothers ale
that you've paid for with your own money.
Yeah, which is bullshit, Pat.
All right, let's keep going. This is Francesco Di Michele.
Okay.
Uploaded 2017, almost 11,000 views. This is the punk cover of the song.
Sick.
As they've claimed.
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. You want to fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog. That's right, kid. I try to fuck your mom in the ass. Try to fuck your dad in the ass. Could only find a dog and his ass. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog.
It's like such a bad joke that I just find myself laughing at an accent.
Yeah, like I actually kind of like found that charming, but it sort of speaks to the thing of like, that's right, kids. Like this, like you won't believe the naughty thing that I'm saying, which is so.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the Ren and Stimpy influence. Of
right.
It. It's like a happy, joy kind of vibe.
It's just one of those things where like being crass is funny. But also these like photocopies of someone else's sort of in and of itself kind of limp crass joke is
First of all, I want to say being crass, like the band Crass,
Yeah.
is funny as well.
yeah. I meant it both ways for sure.
No, you're right. Like it's funny to be crass if you definitely don't do like it's like everyone's doing that like, hey mom, look at me. Hey mom, when you're about to jump in the pool. Like, hey mom, look over here, look over here. Like, don't do that if you're gonna be crass. Make it the whole point is that it's supposed to be subversive in some way.
Yeah, and again, this reminds me, like, because I'm thinking, when I said before, like, this is a thing that I know that I did at some point in my youth, is like, fairly recently, I was having just sort of a nice kind of like sesh with good friend of the pod, bandmate of the pod, Aaron Zorgel, and it was like 5 or 6 a.m. kind of thing, and we had a couple pops, and we had gone into the like serious nostalgia part of the night where we were like finding weird old demos that we hadn't heard in forever of like our friends' bands or our old bands, and one of the things we found was like this very kind of sincere joke song that like I had recorded with a bunch of dudes that I lived with, all about getting STDs, and it was like not funny, like it would not make you laugh, and it's like definitely kind of embarrassing, but you're like, I know where that was coming from, and like I remember that, and it makes me smile. But the idea of just like someone else's joke being your way of being subversive, it's like people who just like wear Deadpool shit and like think that being into Epic Mealtime is a personality. Like
Well, I also think that maybe part of the joke here is that it's a gentle acoustic lullaby, but then these people are like doing that thing where it's like, isn't it so funny and fucked up that we turned this quiet song into a loud song?
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like not really, because you're ruining the joke that was already bad even more.
Yeah. And like you didn't get suspended. Like if you told me that all of these people were not allowed to attend their prom and may have been at risk of not graduating because somehow one performance dropped their grades in school by 18%, I would be holding these people up as heroes. But
exactly. Anyways, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
Jesus
this one sounds like Simple Plan to me, and these guys look just like the absolute worst. They're called 98 Birds, and in the caption they've written "Damn It," which is I don't know if you know this, but it's another Blink-182 song. So they're just showing that
is that like
Blink-182
an old song, or is that another like B-side that's only on one version of a record or something?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when we get to it, we'll figure out what exactly. I think it's like, you know how there's like 3 untitled songs or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, okay.
Here's 98 Birds with their cover of this delightfully twisted song.
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. He wants to fuck a dog in the ears. I wanna fuck a dog. That's right, kids. I try to fuck your mom in the ass. I try to fuck your dad in the ass. Could only find a dog. And it says, we wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog. I try to fuck it.
I never like know when to pause these because I just get lost in this like in like a just existential crisis when I hit play.
That's what MXPX sounds like, right?
No,
Because that is absolutely like if you played that for me and you were like, "This is part of MXPX's like not so Christian period," I would be like, "Yeah."
They have it out. They should have an album called "Not So Christian."
yeah. I mean,
no. That's to me that just sounded like Simple Plan exactly.
but like the sort of jaunty swing I associate with MXPX.
Yeah, I feel like you've never heard MXPX in your life.
I know I'm away and you're okay, and that song's good. And that's it. And then any song you've ever played on this podcast.
No, that didn't sound like MXPX. Stop it. There's a lot of European people like this song. I'm sure Leo Diho loves it.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
I also just can't even play any more of these pop punk ones, but there's 2 other like pop punk bands who play it on stage between their songs, and it's just like horrifying. And one of them is like a German like hardcore band. Like you can tell that they probably sound like Have Heart or something. But then when they cover it, they just do like it sounds like the album, and then they probably break into one of their songs after. But I could just not imagine a less funny thing to experience in real life.
So if you want to see those videos, maybe you can like tweet at the pod, and Josiah will sort of a special punishment just for you can be the 2 covers that the rest of us are dodging this week.
Yeah, I just can't cope with it right now. It's just too much. But there's one more pop punk one, and this band is from the UK, which is another place where we've sort of can't figure out whether they have good senses of humor or not because it's so confusing. This band is called Laby, and they are from Sheffield, which I believe is also where the hair editor of the pod is from. So maybe she's friends with them.
So we should like refrain from any sort of like truly cutting and personal criticism of this band.
No, because we are real journalists here. We do real fucking dog journalism. So it's about ethics in that. Remember, that's the Gamergate reference.
Yeah, I remember.
People used to make when that was the thing in the world. Here's Laby.
I want to fuck a dog in the arse. He wants to fuck a dog in the arse. I wanna fuck a dog. That's right, kids. I try to fuck your mom in the arse. I try to fuck your dad in the arse. Could only find that dog. Yeah, his arse. We wanna fuck a dog in the arse. We wanna fuck a dog in the arse. We wanna fuck a dog. I try to fuck a fucking fire in the arse. Army of my first face to be cursed.
I love the accents. I do love the accents. That's real.
Okay. All right.
You know,
While I was listening to that, I was sort of thinking like maybe pop punk's existence is a net negative and was never really worth it. For like the 6 really, really sweet bands, probably wasn't really worth it.
like
it'd be better if there had just been actually maybe no bands at all to begin with.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it left me feeling distressed. I would love to know what this band actually sounds like.
Well, I
don't want you to play it right now. I want to like get this over with because I'm just...
And also, just so you know, on their SoundCloud, they only have this cover and then an audio of an interview with them. So this is what they're putting out there into the world.
Well, it looks like this is from some kind of comp, right? Because it says like the artwork for this says unsigned bands do Blink-182, and it's all kind of stylized in the aesthetic of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. But,
right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's enough of them. I don't know. I can't deal with any more of these like zany ass pop punk. So
I'm just so worried that they're related to the hair editor, and now you know.
Well, she can handle it. She's a true head.
Okay.
She knows what's up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with this one. I think someone has just slowed it down slightly and added rap drums to it. I don't know. What is it? I think everyone needs something better to do. Like literally, including us. Everyone, we all just need like maybe bring back the draft or something so that we all have to do something.
That's interesting. I think at the very least, you and I should have to join the army.
Yeah.
Like this is
well,
so
you're
so
I don't
shameful.
know if you'd be good because you respect all troops so much.
Right. I couldn't shoot any other troops because I respect them.
Yeah. All right. This is by SMXXXL. So we're all going to remember that name forever and definitely follow this person through their career. This is filed under hip hop and rap. And this is what they've done.
I
little like 30-second snippets are the longest 30 seconds of my life.
Yeah. That person needs to join the army as well. I think we just all need some fucking discipline in our lives, you know?
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm once again being radicalized by this experience.
Right. Yeah,
So this is the next one is uploaded by Viggy, Viggy with a question mark at the end, and this is a trap remix.
Oh.
So I think, and it says vocals by Shady Vox and Ed Templar, so I think it's that version.
Okay, good.
I don't know. Yeah, so we're just we're playing some of them twice.
How are you letting this happen?
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Take her over, please bend over. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Who's a good boy? Taste my chew toy. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Who's a good boy?
Boot camp. I mean, it's the only answer. It's the only answer. I'm gonna watch like the smartest documentary that I can find on Netflix when this is done. Like
I think I
like I need to detox. Like I feel so dumb. I feel
we're too deep in. This is upsetting. And also now I've heard a couple of these songs referencing something like "Hey Rover, bend over," but that's not in the Blink song, is it?
I don't think so.
Did I miss that?
I think they're just adding their own flavor to this. 'Cause, oh God. Wow. Like, this is one of those things where, like, we've talked before about swearing and how swearing is cool, and swearing's not cool. Like,
no, it's really bad.
What is?
I'm gonna be like getting into like real like actual satire now, where it's like not funny at all, and there's never a joke, but you're just like, oh yeah, like that movie The Death of Stalin. Everyone's like, oh, it's so funny, and it's like it's like reading a Wikipedia for an hour.
Right.
But that's gonna be the kind of comedy that I'm into now, because you have to be.
I mean, if this is the alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's exposure therapy, but the opposite, I guess.
Exposure torture. I guess. Is that what it would be?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna only play a couple more because I think we've really been through enough.
Yeah,
here.
man.
I think this is really just upsetting. But because of what we're talking about, I think I gotta play you this one because it is extremely fedora'd up. This is a bunch of Fedora boys. Their band is called Upfuck. Upfuck Band. And so, hey guys, we are really bored. And kinda have nothing to do, so we made a video for you. Smile. Enjoy. And then it lists the members: Brad, Brian, Joe, and Johnny. So they're wearing fedoras. One of them in the back is wearing like a shower cap. One of them looks to be wearing a tea towel as if it's a bandana.
Yeah, they kind of look like Walk Off the Earth. Like that's the vibe I'm getting from this band.
Yeah, Walk Off the Earth if they were like in a very sketchy subreddit about something bad.
Yeah, totally. This is like an incel Walk Off the Earth.
Yeah. All right, let's hear if they do the song justice.
This song's called Fuck a Dog.
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass.
You want to fuck a dog in the ass?
I wanna fuck a dog.
That's right, kids.
I try to fuck your mom in the ass. Try to fuck your dad in the ass. You know I'm trying to dodge.
So really, what the song was missing all along was also someone doing like pentatonic guitar soloing in the background.
Yeah.
It really just adds a whole other
That
layer
actually
where,
has really rescued the song for me. I'm back. I'm back in.
some fucking loser noodling away. Get it out of here. I was realizing that the "That's Right, Kids" thing also reminds me of like I can't think of a specific person, but the generation of comedian that's like Dennis Miller or Bill Maher. Like, that's right, kids. Or like, come on, people. Come on, folks, people. You know, when people are like, come on, people, get it together, people.
Yes.
Or like, that's right, kids. It's so bad.
It's very lecturing isn't the word. I'm trying to sort of think of what it is, but it's I'm gonna while we're listening to the next
Yeah,
one.
like patronizing maybe is what you're thinking of. It's like, just that's right, kids.
It's just like what you think is happening, and in this case, it's like I'm being bad. Oh God, I fucking.
All right. Well, I'm hoping that an actual kid can bring us some redemption. Because this video, I do remember being kind of fun. This is a young boy, and his username is Felix Egg, EGGE. But he's described it as Carl's Penis Cover, is the name of the video. It's from 2009. There is a visual element of this that I like, which is that it's just a collection of very shitty photographs instead of an actual video.
Okay, I like that.
So you should look at it while it plays, but it sounds how it's supposed to sound, I think. Here we go.
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. You wanna fuck a dog in the ass. I wanna fuck a dog. That's right, kids. I try to fuck a mom in the ass. I try to fuck a dad in the ass. But can only find a dog and his ass. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog in the ass. We wanna fuck a dog.
I mean, that reminds me a little bit of like a sort of Casio tone for the Painfully Alone, like real
Exactly.
sort of early 2000s lo-fi vibes. And yeah, it's and the fact that it's a kid where you're like, of course that kid thinks this is funny.
And then something else that made it even better that I didn't notice before, but he's got to be what, like 9 or 10 maybe?
Yeah.
But he's wearing a In My Eyes Boston Straight Edge shirt. So there's clearly something going on in that house with the core. And that must explain why he has so many cool guitars laying around.
Yeah, that's true.
So all in all,
this kid
this is
definitely
like
has like a cool older sibling for sure.
Yeah, so like there's a core element. There's this weird like voyeuristic photo video that really adds an element of like he's just like either had too much Ritalin or not enough. And you're just like having a wild night in the computer room. And it's fun. It's great.
Yeah, totally.
This, I think, is the intended recreation of the song.
It feels like we've kind of, and God, I fucking, you didn't say this was the last one, so I feel like there's more. But this feels like I've sort of started to return to the place that I was at 90 minutes ago when this all began.
Yeah, I'm not going to play anymore. I can't do it. Even I have my limits. That's
Wow.
like more than enough.
So, Josiah, what are your final thoughts on the song Fuck a Dog by Blink-182?
I hate to say it because I'm about to introduce our guest, and she was like all about this song and about how she thought it was so funny, but like I really don't like it. It makes me feel really gross and sad.
Well, but I think that the guest is more or less where we probably were, again, 90 minutes ago, right?
Yeah, it's true. We've kind of achieved nothing through talking about it, except I guess further understanding that and maybe that's an explanation for the pop culture that I hate, like Deadpool and stuff too, is that everything, maybe even if it's not good as art, it still serves a function, and the functionality of it might redeem it sometimes. Like this song is good for if you want to get suspended from school. Yeah,
and I also, I want to make sure that my position on this is clear and I'm not misrepresenting myself. One, I like the television show Entourage. 2, I think
Big time Deadpool guy.
I think Deadpool is a funny fucking movie. But
Lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. Oversized poster above the bed.
Right? Yeah, totally. But what? And because again, I'm not better than these things because I honestly think that they are funny things or enjoyable things, and like, you know, removing. I can't sort of act like I'm better than them because I'm not. That is who I am. That's what I think is funny. What am better than is the like endless repetition of those things in a way that feels like the person repeating it, whether it is like literally Ryan Reynolds or just like someone who is a big Deadpool fan, thinks that like just doing it is in and of itself like subversive. And I also think, and this is like, and I'm trying not to like, you know, I don't know. There's so much like actually subversive shit that you could do or say in this world that is of maybe like more vital importance. And this idea that like the hill that you want to die on, the hill that you want to get suspended on, although I support that, is like this just like disappoints me in a very like real way that affects the very core of my soul. All of which is to say, I think that this song, as part of a larger 3-part joke, is worthy and funny. And if you got suspended for playing this at your talent show, I salute you, and I will like make up a fake graduation certificate for you or something. Like we'll do like Blink 155.
Oh yeah. If anyone knows that guy, we can make a Blink 155 grad certificate.
Totally, and you put it on your LinkedIn. Do whatever you need to do with it, because that I honestly do think is like funny, and that's the target for this song. But if you're like,
I think because what it is if you do that, you're showing that you get the joke.
Yes,
but if you're just doing a straightforward cover of it, you're showing that you very much don't get the joke at all.
Yes, and I'm so tired now.
All right, well, we have a guest, and it's her fault that we did this song. I'm talking about Kitty. You may know Kitty from her rap music, from her excellent pop music. She released an album last year called Miami Garden Club. That's so good. And she currently also plays in American Pleasure Club, and she makes EDM with her husband Sam under the name 56 Colors. She's all over the place, and she's also extremely online, just like me. So that's why I reached out to her, and she picked this song. So I guess stay tuned for more analysis of this song.
I wanna fuck a dog in the ass, wanna fuck your mom in the ass, but I could only find the dog in an ass.
Kitty, welcome to the Blink 155 podcast.
Thank you for the welcome.
Yes,
it's great to be here.
I'm A, very excited that you're here, and B, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but I'm shocked by the song that you chose. I can't really believe it. But first, to get started, I want to know about your own history with like quote unquote punk music, and how you sort of got introduced to like underground music, and if you were ever too cool for Blink-182, or were you ever like obsessed with them, or kind of what's your like story of like growing up in music?
Well, my dad was like kind of into punk music in a way, but he, I don't know. He like taught me a lot about 80s music and rock and roll and stuff. And then when I went to high school, and I went to private school, so like when I was like young, that was kind of my only music. Like I loved like The Police and Talking Heads and The Cure and shit. But then when I went to high school, like public high school, I met all these like I'm pretty sure I made friends with all of the punk guys because they all wore like Pink Floyd shirts from Walmart, and I was like, I can relate to you. And so I didn't really find out about like any cool music at all until I was like 14, and I also wasn't allowed to use the internet, so it made it really hard. But I remember when I was in, I guess, middle school, when everybody else was listening to Blink-182, and I think I Miss You was like on the radio a lot. Mm-hmm. So that was like my like, oh, cool band that I'm very late to. And it didn't take me long to decide that I was way too cool for it, because I was like, this is stupid pop music. These sell out. And also, like, pop punk in general, like, I thought was stupid because I was, like, already pretentious about it. So I was like, these dipshits are just like they think dicks are funny. Like, that's not music.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was sort of the same as a teen. Like, I when I was, like, 13, my first band was inspired by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Like, I thought I was, like, way too cool for all of it, you know?
It's funny how you come back around, like, the older you get, like, you make your way through that bullshit, and then you're like, wait, actually, that shit sucks. And Blink-182 is, like, the greatest band of all time. Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, so, like, when you were a snob, what were you into? When you were, like, too pretentious for it?
Oh, my God, dude. Okay, well, first I was into, like, ska punk.
Oh, my God. Well,
which is, like, the stupidest thing.
You don't know, but the last few months... this keeps happening. We've declared it ska season on the pod because ska is just in the air this year, and every guest that we have without fail mentions ska, including the singer of Imagine Dragons talked about ska.
Oh my God. Yo, it's because I'm pretty sure everybody went through ska as a thing that, like, you know, however brief your ska phase might be, but, like, then you're like, oh my God, dude, this is too happy and, like, stupid. Like, I need emotional weight in my music. And now there's, like, so much emotional weight to, like, every single thing you do in life, and the world is awful. And it's like, I just want to hear some trumpets again, please.
Yeah, that's a good point. We were thinking that it was because black and white checkers are so popular these days.
That's true. I've noticed there's been a lot of slip-on Vans, and they give me flashbacks. I'm triggered. But anyway, after that, I got really into Screamo.
Hell yeah.
Scrams, and that is what I was very pretentious about. And then I was like, damn, pop punk is fucking horrible.
So you're saying Scrams like SKRAMZ, like the true head shit, not like...
Oh, yes.
Of course. Oh my God. Yeah, see, I think I'm older than you, so I was into that shit when it, like, at the tail end of when it was just called Screamo. And now I'm too obsessed with Blink-182 that I can't really dig into, like, Scram stuff. I don't know. It's really confusing, but yeah, that's okay. I can see how a Scrams person would not be able to, like, fuck with pop punk.
Yeah, a Scrams person. I identify.
Is that your driver's license?
Oh my God.
Well, okay, and then so what happened where you kind of came back around and, like, at this point in your life, are you okay with pop music?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, all I make is pop music, and also, like, I feel like indie rock is the alternative, and it sucks ass now. Like, it used to be that there was, like, a bazillion cool bands, and you just have to go on MySpace, and you could find, like, a million a day. Uh-huh. But now, like, every single band that comes out just sucks, and so you have to go backwards.
It's so true. It's so true. It's like everyone has just stopped trying altogether.
Yeah, man. It's whack. We were just on tour, and, like, not to shit on, like, anybody in particular, but there was, like, mad bands that would play, like, local people that would play before us, and they all sounded exactly the same, and it sounded like the same bad thing. And I was like, why doesn't anyone have fun? Like,
yeah,
write a song.
People just, it's kind of like how, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago, every single band on Earth just sounded like the Black Lips, and now every single band on Earth just kind of sounds like I don't even know. I don't even go to shows anymore for that reason. It's too frustrating.
It's too boring.
Okay, but so at what point can you pinpoint when you were like you came full circle on Blink and were like, okay, they're actually sick?
I'm trying to think if there was an actual moment where that happened, but I'm sure it was around 2012 when I changed schools, and I was like, I can get rid of this reputation for being a fucking pretentious bitch. and then I remember, like, hanging out with this guy that really liked, he was just very basic, and he was really into Blink-182, and I was like, this actually slaps. I'm down.
Yeah, absolutely. 2012. So that's like everything would have been out by then, pretty much.
Oh, yes.
Other than, like, Neighborhoods or whatever. So yeah, I mean, how could you deny it? there's a certain point where that's like they've released so many incredible songs that you're like, are you insane? Do you not have a heart? You have to admit that it's good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it's kind of like when you watch a reality show that's like really fucking stupid, but everybody in it is very nuanced and like there's relationships that you want to like Jersey Shore.
I was
no,
gonna say
even stupider than Jersey Shore.
I thought when you were describing that reality show, I was thinking like Terrace House or something.
Yeah, that's what Blink-182 is.
Terrace House. Okay, so do you have like, now that you've sort of like come to terms with Blink, and we'll talk about the song that you picked in a second, but sort of, do you have like a favorite era or a favorite lineup or anything like that?
I mean, my favorite shit was like the most poppin' albums. That's probably like a boring answer that you don't want, but like the things that must have come out when I was like a very small child are my favorite. Like 2001.
Okay. Yeah, because like, well, before that they were like straight up literally like a NoFX style pop punk band, but I think everyone pretty much in the culture is just like, 2001 era Blink-182 is like the shit.
Yeah, it's a shame. I feel bad for them because they probably have to hear that so much.
Yeah, and now they're still trying to keep going with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio, and they're like doing like a Vegas residency and everything.
Wow, that's actually awesome. That's the dream.
Yeah, you're into it? Would you do that?
Dude, a Vegas residency? Hell yeah. That's
Would you do like a kiddie one or like a American Pleasure Club residency?
Yeah, I think an American Pleasure Club residency would be kind of boring to do.
What
But
if
that's
it was
just
like,
because
what if it was just your guys' like projects, like all in one, like a variety show?
that would be so tight. I want to make a tour like that.
That would be very sick. Okay, so this is all a bunch of preamble for. So I messaged you and was like, "Do you want to talk about? You can pick a song, or I can pick a song, or whatever." And then you picked the song "Fuck a Dog," which I couldn't believe it. I didn't know that anyone actually listened to those songs or resonated with them in any way.
Oh, dude. Okay, I feel like you've been following me on Twitter long enough for it to not be that surprising.
It's true, but I still found it just very like, I don't know. I was blindsided, and I was very stoked because usually everyone is like, "Can we talk about Aliens Exist?" And so I was like, "Oh, damn, we have a real head on our hands here."
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never listened to the Blink-182 podcast before, but like, my thoughts are in a different place than that, I guess.
That's sick. So, yeah, and I listened to it today, and I honestly didn't even know there was a verse about pirates because I've always turned it off before getting to that part. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, okay. So tell me, why did you pick this song?
Well, first of all, I feel like, okay, well, I'm not going to lie. I picked it because it's the one that goes, "I want to fuck a dog in the ass." And like, I mean, come on. But when I thought a little bit for like 15 more seconds about it, I was like, actually, that song is like the perfect time capsule of like prime Blink-182. And there's so much in it that if you read between the lines, honestly, I could probably write like an entire like senior thesis about it.
Well,
but
that's okay. I know you admitted you haven't listened to our podcast, but you really get the vibe. That's what it is like over analyzing these stupid things. And what I love about this song is that we've already sort of established that Tom might actually truly want to fuck a dog because he's referenced it so many times that I think now whenever he posts a photo of like his dog on Instagram, it's like so loaded because we're like, dude, you've been talking about this desire for many, many decades.
Oh my God. I wonder if he regrets all of that.
I don't know. We're hoping that one day we'll get to. Everyone else wants to talk to him about aliens, but I just want to know like if he actually wants to fuck a dog. So we'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get. So what? Okay, reading between the lines, what's going on in this song?
Well, first of all, okay, there's the base layer of like context for why it even exists and why it was like released, which is just they were a bunch of dipshits and their label pissed them off and they were like, we're going to do something horrible to make our label mad. And like, we're Blink-182, so what are they going to do about it? So that's why like all the other The other one, what is it?
When you fucked grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah. It was literally just to like make their label mad, which I guess since I'm married to Sam, like that is just a very appealing concept to me, is like
Right.
doing shocking, terrible things.
Well, and when I learned that too, I agree. I was like, okay, I respect these songs like 100 times more.
Yeah, that makes them art.
Yeah, totally. It's like it's kind of like a Nathan For You kind of vibe. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. And like the fact that they can put that shit out, well, they could at the time, and it was like on top of being just like incredibly vulgar and bad and just something they shouldn't be saying, and that was like the appeal of it. It also just says a lot about what was okay in 2001 versus 2018. Like if a fucking band did that now, it would be a Twitter moment and they would be canceled and their records would be burned, and like, but like I'm like number one fuck the shitty guys and music person, but like this song doesn't make me mad, and I guess it's just because we have history, but I don't know.
Well, maybe, or let's unpack that for a second. Is it because of that? Is it because of the context, or is it just because they've crafted a joke that is so incredibly stupid that no one could possibly take offense because it's just so dumb?
I don't know, because I feel like people still do that and they get in trouble for jokes that are literally that stupid. Like Kathy Griffin with the Trump head. Like, that bitch's life is over because of that, and it's not even that big of a deal. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's still like commenting on what's going on. I mean, what I find crazy about these joke songs is that like they're turning their brains off in a way that is so insane to me. Like it's not even like they're doing any form of like wordplay or trying to find a punchline. They're just like they've connected into this like primal idiot inside of them where they're just speaking things out that I don't even know where that came from.
I mean, like, that's the type of shit that is funny when you're like a teenager, you know? Like, think like the words "fuck a dog in the ass" are just like it's a funny sentence. There's curse words in it. And then the thing that really nails home like the fact that this is like a 2001 ass iconic legendary song is the pirate part, which is like, because do you remember, I remember this because I was in middle school, so it was a big thing, but do you remember the prevalence of like, "Yar, I'm a pirate"?
Yeah, or like
that's random.
Talk like a pirate day, or I feel like it goes hand in hand with having a mustache on your index finger, kind of era.
Yes, exactly, like Invader Zim type shit.
Yeah,
like that was like, this song is just like a Spencer's Gifts time capsule, and it's really catchy too. Like I've listened to it many times since we talked about this, and it's like it's gonna be stuck in my head forever.
It is actually. That's another thing that stresses me out about these joke songs is that they all kind of have like they could have been turned into actual songs almost. There's enough going on here, and the sing along part is like pretty good.
Yeah, and there's the part, you know, the back and forth things where he says like, that was no pirate or whatever, and then they're like, it's a Mexican pirate, and it's a joke about like, at first you'd be like, with my 2018 brain, I'm like, they said the word Mexican, like there's something racist here.
Yeah, like in 2018, just the word Mexican, you're like, I don't know if you should be saying that word.
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy because like when I thought about it more, I was like, wait, what's racist about this? And then I was like, no, he's just making fun of how bad he is at doing a pirate voice.
Right.
That he accidentally did a Mexican accent and he was acknowledging it. And like, this is a very self-aware song. They know exactly what they're doing. Pirates are funny. Fucking your mom is funny. Like, it's great.
Okay, hang on. Are pirates still funny though? Because I think they are sort of along the lines of like Borat voice of like something that was just done too much and can't be funny anymore.
I feel like it's come full circle now because that's definitely what it was like a couple years ago. But have you watched the movie Dodgeball recently?
No, I haven't watched it recently.
Yeah, dude, you got to go back and watch Dodgeball because the whole Steve the Pirate thing was like very stupid for a long time, and now I'm like, oh my god, it's been like 20 years since I laughed at this joke. Like,
right.
This is a dope. Like, this is what we thought was funny. Like, there's no political subtext. There's just like pirates. Like,
yeah, it's funny because I'm sure you could search on Twitter and find someone, like if pirate jokes were still popular now, you could find someone who was like, hey, let's look at the actual context and history of pirates and what they did to people.
Oh my god, dude, you're right. Pirates are so problematic. God fucking damn it.
So maybe a Mexican pirate is less problematic. I'm not sure.
It's just like there's no way to be shocking without somehow being offensive. Like, I've thought about this a lot, but I think the key is to just like overdo it, and also to not project anything shitty on anyone else. I guess fucking a dog is pretty shitty in general, but like when you think about, I want to fuck a dog in the ass, like that just makes him look bad. And like, that's all
he's
it's
not
doing.
saying he's going to. He just says he wants to. He hasn't acted on that desire, so maybe that's where it's okay.
I found another song when I was just Googling the words fuck a dog in the ass, and there's another song that is far more disgusting about a guy, and it's like definitely the type of shit where they were just trying to fudge the Google results, and they're like, maybe if we name it the same thing, the Blink-182 kids will accidentally find our song.
Oh, no.
But it's about actually fucking a dog.
What's it
and
called?
That's just horrible. I think it's called something, and then in parentheses, fuck a dog in the ass. I'm going to find it again.
Yeah, please do.
Oh,
please.
It's called I Didn't Wash My Dick. And then in parentheses, I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass by Nuclear Fish Market.
And when I just Googled that, the Death Grips subreddit popped up for some reason. So.
Oh, well, that's how we know that we're living in a completely different era.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if they. No, I don't think they have a. I don't think they have a song about fucking dogs. Although maybe all of them.
You never know.
Yeah, it's too confusing. All right. Well, this has been illuminating, and I feel a lot smarter now from talking to you about this. Is there anything else you want to say about the song?
No, but I think that everybody should listen to it and sing along together. It's a bonding experience. I'm going to make Sam cover it.
Yeah, honestly, you guys should cover it because we talk about covers every week and we listen to shitty YouTube covers, but we're going to start producing our own through the pod. So if you guys cover it, please let us know and we'll share it with the Pod Nation. But
Hell
okay,
yeah.
Just finally, is there anything that you want to plug? I know that you and Sam both are always crazy busy. It seems like you're just constantly making songs every day.
Yeah, we are. Well, we just started. Sam got out of this one contract that he was in, so now we're allowed to put out our EDM songs. So if anyone wants to listen to our EDM songs, just look up 56 Colors on SoundCloud.
Sick. That was a good plug.
I'm not going to plug any of my real shit because I don't know.
You don't want to be associated with something about fucking a dog? Is that why?
Oh, no, I just don't have anything interesting to say yet.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you so much for coming on Blink 155, and thank you for picking a truly deep song.
Anytime.